All right, quick indoor update. November 18th. Some good changes. I had to change something, and then some good things popping up. So I removed the dill from here because it started to get a spray painted white frost looking stuff. Um, and I looked it up, and it's because of humidity. So I have a humidifier down on the ground there for my room, and I like to keep it between 60 and 70% humidity up until about 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night before I go to bed. So all of a sudden, after about a month, my dill, which was growing like wildfire, awesome, started to have that on it. So I cut it all off and I put it down. You'll see it in the other section. I'll show you here my last week. This wasn't even really that big, but now the cilantro is growing, and then I got some cilantro over here. This lettuce is about to be harvested. You can see how beautiful it grew. This is the red romaine down there and over there. The other one's in the kitchen because I'm going to use that tonight. And the mint is growing up and downwards. The strawberries over here real quick. I want to make this short. So these look like they're not maybe that healthy. They flowered like they did in the garden down below out in the ground. And that's where these guys are from, actually. So these are their second time around blooming. They don't look that healthy. But over here, this plant itself and the flowers, there's a whole bunch of flowers right there. Let's see if I can get a better view of it like that. And then the strawberries. Now these strawberries aren't big to begin with. They're small. But these ones look a little bit more healthy. See if it focuses. There it goes. So there's like 5 or 6 over here and 4 on the other one. But that's a good sign. So they're getting some fruit. And these guys are still growing all nice and everything like that. Now I got some cool flowers here. The strange style marigold compared to the bushy style that you'll see out in the living room. So that's nice. And then everything's growing. Matter of fact, I got to rearrange this because these cosmos are growing up high and everything. So I got to do something with that. But I want to show you here. Remember I said organic, non-GMO tomato. I bought from the store. I ate it and I washed and dried the seeds. And that's how I started my tomato patch. I also bought the same Roma organic, non-GMO from seed of a store. So they both grew side by side. You'll see in the other room and down below, and they looked identical, the plant, the tomato, everything. So after I ate a couple of them this year, actually a week or two ago, here's the seeds. And look at, within 4 days, bam, popping up like wildfire. So that's good. And my lavender doing really well. Peppers doing really well. Remember, I rescued them from down below in the cold and everything. I had aphids all over them. You might be able to see in the middle. Now, that's something I haven't had. So I took it out about 4 days ago, sprayed it, and whatever's left is either eggs or they're just sitting there. Nothing's moving. Oh, actually, they are some moving around. I see it now. Look on that leaf. You'll see one on the far left rim and one on the far right. So I sprayed this heavily, and I hadn't seen anything, and now I just see that. Apparently, they'll lay eggs or whatever, and they'll do what the white flies do, and they'll deteriorate the leaves so they can't do photosynthesis. So I got to be careful on that. I might have to take it again. See it right where that fly guy was flying. See him on the end there walking. It's weird because they seem not like they don't do any damage at all, but I guess they do. Here's carrots from the non-GMO organic seeds I bought. The bigger guys are transplants. These just came up around the same time as the tomatoes did. So that's cool. Matter of fact, I can shut this light off because the sun is beaming in here. So you see, that's a perfect example. I'll show you here real quick too. So the sun's hitting this and that. So that will go off for about 3 hours. And the bottom one will stay on. So these lights are off, as you can see. The sun shines in here pretty well. And then they'll go off. So this tomato grew in the last couple weeks huge. I have to move it so it gets some light. Have to move something around today. Real briefly here, this tomato is a nice one. And I harvested most of these, like maybe 8 of them off of here. And I trimmed it, sprayed it, and trimmed it again over the last 2 weeks. And it seems like it's coming back to life and doing more leaves and stuff. Same thing with this. This is all new. And then this top is new. And it got a flower there too. and then two of the smaller ones that never really grew at all, this one and that one. And even that one growing a little bit more too. So these two might have life in them again and give me a few more tomatoes while the little one's in the other room and this big guy gets going. Real quickly here, I want to share with you this. You see here, let's see. That's growing. And those two are growing, if you can see. There and to the left. So that's good because most of this plant is dying and most of it, and half of it or a few pieces are still alive. The spider mites, oh look, I see them here. Let's see if they're moving or not. No, they look like they're dead and just hanging. So you can see them in there maybe. So I sprayed a little heavy with the neem, and this plant obviously couldn't take it. The raspberry and the marigold cannot take a heavy spraying of neem. So know that in case you ever get that. The blueberries are starting to do something right there, and I'll show you the other one. You can see there and there. So I don't know if there are new sections of leaves coming and or they're gonna like start putting flowers out, but that's a good sign. And the marigolds, giant marigolds, are still flowering. I have a pepper flower over here on the old plant that's 8 months old, one right there, and one pepper starting there. Now that plant had exhausted about 5 peppers. Now on here, as you see this giant one now. Same thing with the tomatoes. Remember what I said? I took a red bell pepper from the store, non-GMO organic. I ate it, planted the seeds downstairs in the ground and up in my buckets, and this is what you got. I mean, there's flowers everywhere. I can see on this plant alone, I don't know if you can, but I'll point out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers over there, 7 flowers, and then I see the starts of stuff all over the place. Then when I looked in here the other day, there's a big one down in there, right down in there. And there's another one somewhere hidden in here, and then there's a little guy starting. But the big show is over here. You got this one. I think I counted 10 or 11 altogether. That one. I don't know if you can see that with the sun, but that one. And the big guy, of course, here. And then down in there, and there's just tons. There could be, and there's flowers everywhere. So I'm excited about this. All right, so I want to keep this video as short as I can, but I wanted to share the update on this stuff so far. And again, the celery, I cut a lot of celery, and it's still growing and regrowing, so that's good. And I don't use much of this. It hasn't flowered in 3 years. When I first got it, stalks, and flowers, and I ate the flowers and stalks. But when I need garlic and I don't want a bulb, I can just use this, so that's cool. All right, and there's just those peppers are just amazing. And I used about 6 leaves. You can see I cut some of it there. But this is a summer Bib lettuce. So this is as big as it gets, and now it's starting to stalk. So I'm going to have to eat some of this. It's really good, and that's as big as it gets, about 4 to 6 inch leaves. And it tastes pretty much like romaine. I like it. I said last time like a little bit bitter like a dandelion, but I think that's because they were growing stalk, and they said the more it stalks, the bitter it will be. And if you see white flies on it, it doesn't bother the lettuce. Like, it will not kill the lettuce. They hide on there, but they don't reproduce and lay any kind of damaging eggs or larvae or anything like that. It's zinnia and tomato. I haven't seen them do anything to anything else. So I think it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you can see the sun, and there'll be more and more sun coming through. So these bloom, the giant marigolds. One I planted, and one was from the ground rescued. Let me lower this. And there's still about 5 on each one that's still ready to go. So here you can see that different marigold. It's bushy, and over here there's a better one. See how bushy that is? And then I got some nice purple guys here. The lighting, but compared to the regular, say, where is it? The regular white and purple and everything. So let's see if I do this real quick. Yeah, there we go. So isn't that awesome? That really doesn't, I mean, I could use the light up top, but I don't right now. I'll wait. And you could use these things 18 hours a day. I use them about 6 to 8, and that's it. So as you can see, everything is glowing. I just wanted to show you, look at how much everything's blooming. Got another viola over there. everything is growing hardy and bushy. And I got about 9, 10 cucumbers. I do have an issue with the leaves every once in a while, this like rusty, moldy stuff. So I cut them off as new leaves grow. This one here didn't do well, that cucumber, but most of them are staying green and doing well. And like I said, there's a whole bunch growing. So that's cool. The watermelon, sorry with the camera, the watermelon is flowering and flowering and flowering, but at times it looks like parts of it is dying, so I don't know if it's too close to the light or it's just the plant itself. I don't know. And then briefly here, I did the aphids with this too, the spray. These were the rescued ones from down below, and as you can see, they're doing excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, I think that's all. Let me just take a break here and see if there's something I want to tell you. No, I think that's it. I just wanted to show you right here in the day the update and how the natural sunlight comes through in the rooms, and also the growth, especially these guys. These guys finally took off in the last 2 weeks. They started really growing, and they're going to be foxgloves. They'll grow next year a stalk and then big huge bells that hang over each other. So that will be cool. So again, the only thing I'll show you really briefly is this, the leaves of the zinnia. Sometimes the plant grows faster than the white flies can do anything to, and other times it can't. And remember, like I said in the other video, it's going to be hard to see it, but they're all over these leaves, everywhere. They're everywhere on these zinnia. And like I said, I'm just so tired of spraying them, and they don't seem to be affected like people say about this neem oil. But then again, the neem oil did wonders to the spider mites and to the aphids, and the only problem was it damaged the raspberry and it damaged the marigold that I needed to spray. So you got to play around with the concentration compared to what they say. I would start off a little bit smaller, but on the white flies you might have to go even higher. They don't seem to be affected, but zinnia and tomato is what they love. The rest of the stuff, they might go on every once in a while, but they never damaged it at all for all these months, about 8 months now. All right, so that's it, update. And like I said, let me show you the cukes again, just all those flowers and everything. So I'll keep an eye on the leaves. I'll cut them when I need to, and hopefully this will get going, and I'll get about 8 to 10 good ones so far. All right, love you guys. Bye.